Yes, you're listening to XRP Radio, and I am here with the legendary beat combo themselves, Beat Bakery. Hi, Mike and Hypnotist. I've never had to call someone Hypnotist before, so we'll have fun there. How you doing, lads?
Hey, yeah, we're good, thanks, man.
Good.
I love asking two people the same question at the same time. It's great fun. I did that purposefully. So you're no strangers to XRP Radio. You've been here with a few tracks before, usually on not your usual beat. So I hope you enjoy the new setting. The seats are comfortable, and the slaves have provided you with your beverage of choice.
Yes,
of course.
Thanks for having us on the show.
So not a problem. I'm glad to have you. Beat Bakery here, mainly to talk to us about their new track that they released. I want to say yesterday, but I'm feeling like it's not yesterday.
It came out on the 31st of March.
31st of March.
It's available on all streaming platforms. As we speak.
Before then, let's get to know the lads. The obvious question that everyone's just sitting on the edge of their seats waiting for me to ask you guys is, why are you called Beat Bakery?
All right, is there ever take this one, Hypnotist?
Go for it.
So we're called Beat Bakery because in one of my former lives, in one of my many professions, I was a baker. I was a baker for about 15 years, doing everything from scones right through to wedding cakes. And when I met Hypnotist on our master's course, I said, "Hey, I bake, we make beats together. Why don't we bring the two together and call it Beat Bakery?"
Okay.
And he was like, "That's a great idea. Let's run with it." And everybody's said how great our name has been ever since.
It's a good name. It's a good name. It really stirs up and gives you some versatility to be able to literally create anything with beats, and you're pretty much good to go. So happy days. So you met actually before that. I need to know. You're saying you're matching beats and bakery. Have you ever actually matched beats and bakery? Is there going to be a show with bread?
I mean, if people check out our TikTok, a lot of our TikToks, we bring in the whole baking factor. So there's an episode on TikTok or a short on YouTube of us two actually having a sword fight with baguettes. I do a breakdown of what goes into the mix for this single, but everything's labeled differently. So like the bar of chocolate would be labeled lyrics. The mixing bowl is called the mix. The spatula is called mix. The electric whisk is called more mix. And the eggs are called breaker base, or the butter's called buttery biscuit base, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, the buttery biscuit base.
Yeah. And we just use as much baking things to play on as much as we can.
No, I like it. So previously, the last time you were here, you were in an interview with Andrew, and you released a different track. You've just popped me over something new now. Paradise, tell us a little bit about this.
This track we did with a singer called Milena, who's also based in London. We just wrote it as like a summer beach kind of party anthem. We wanted everyone to hear it and just go outside, get drunk, party, let loose, have a bit of fun.
Okay, cool.
Sorry.
Carry on, sorry.
So it was our first release after COVID, and the whole idea behind the track was, let's go out and party, get down the beach.
No, I like it. What kind of flow did you take to producing that track, and how do you two work together?
That's an interesting question. We adopted many approaches, but now we found the best way that we work is when Mike starts the track. Mike is very good at creating whole ideas at once and then sending them to me, and I get inspired by certain ones. And that's how Paradise and our new track came about. He just sent me the tracks and I went, wow, these are amazing. Instantly started writing lyrics and melodies to it and just kind of took off from there.
Brilliant. Well, without further ado, let's take a little look at Paradise, and then let's dive deep into the questions on the new track. This is Paradise from Beat Bakery. Sweet. Nice little start.
That was good. Wow, we all sounded great. Mike,
we did.
Class. Not an in sight.
No ums, no buts.
Love it.
Don't you worry, it'll be me that's and ahhing more than anyone else, especially today.
Nah, it'll be all good.
So the track plays, I don't know if you got in our blurb, but due to the way YouTube and Facebook are, we talk over the tracks in the green room and people will be watching in on us. Hello, the few people that watch instead of listen on the radio. And then they'll get the full track uninterrupted on the radio. Just because if anyone distributes on like, DistroKid or anything like that, they just snap up the rights as soon as you play anything on Facebook or YouTube. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and then we just get the interview pulled, and then it's a nightmare. So
that's where
we're at.
Yeah.
But it also gives us a chance to kind of dive into the depths of the track as we're talking. This vocalist, tell us a little bit about her.
She was born in Montenegro, but she's been living in London most of her life. She's a kind of funky jazz singer in her solo music. And we met her, I think it was through Instagram, was it, Mike?
Yeah, she hit us up on Instagram.
Yeah, and then we just chatted for a while, and then we actually met and had a session, and we just kind of made a bit of magic from the get-go. Really hit it off with her.
Yeah, she has such a great vibe, and she brings a whole happy, fun, great work ethic with us.
Awesome. Oh, like it's definitely lots of upbeat, happy music from you guys, which you can sing.
Yeah, we're all about the good vibes.
Yeah, it's what we love.
Do you how do you find working with people? Do you just like try and work with as many as possible, or are you super picky?
Yeah, I'm very picky. Ask Mike. I'm ridiculous about perfection. With vocalists, especially, I want every single note to be hit with absolute perfection.
Yeah. It's like, and when we're in the studio, we just keep going until we get it right. The two biggest things we look through from our singers is dedication and note perfection. So
let's hold there. That was Paradise from Beat Bakery, and we were just talking about their pickiness about who they work with. So what were you just telling me are the two things that you look for in a vocalist?
So the two biggest things we look for in a vocalist, other than they got to be awesome and gel with us, is dedication, and Brody's note perfection. They've got to be dedicated to what we're doing, and they've got to be able to hit their notes perfectly.
So I'm guessing no auto-tune or pitch correct used in the making of Paradise.
Well, we use it as a tool to make sure that the singer is singing correctly, and then I basically made her sing until she was singing it with 0% correction.
Yeah.
So the computer was just a tool. It wasn't used.
It's a great way to train as well, that, as a singer. A shout tip for any singers out there, if you've got a studio at home and you've got a pitch correction tool on it, use that to sing to, and you can see physically how you are singing and how to improve that.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Big tip. So the main reason you're here is the new single. So tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind it.
So as always, go on. So I came up with the track last July, and we didn't really have a singer in mind at the time, but Hypnotist came up with a really great melody line. So we got in the studio, we recorded it, just us two, and we got it down how we liked it. And we were looking for new singers. I spoke to our mastering engineer saying, do you know any up and coming artists that are really cool? And he was like, oh, I know this one chick, she's pretty groovy, called Bellussi, who's the vocalist on our new single Got You. And we sent her the track and said, you have free reign, basically. Make it the Bellussi sound, do your thing. And within about a week of us sending it to her, she sent us some ideas back. And what she sent us back was absolutely amazing. We couldn't believe what we were hearing from this 18-year-old. It's like she'd been singing for years.
Yeah.
And
it really blew our minds.
Yeah, it just blew our minds. So we arranged to get in a session with her. Shout out to Rimshot Studios, amazing studios that we recorded in down in Sittingbourne. And she recorded the whole track in about 4 hours.
Which was pretty spectacular, considering how particular I am.
And she delivered on point. She sounded absolutely phenomenal on the day. And she was a real pleasure to work with.
Excellent. I mean, it's always great when you get someone that just slides into work like that. Definitely. So you'd mentioned a little bit about how it works when you create a song. previously. Was there any specifics in the creative process for this one that might have been slightly different?
I wrote the lyrics based on a previous relationship I had,
Okay.
and I'd never done that before. And I think that's why people are really feeling related, or can relate, sorry, to the lyrics, because it's happened to them. The song is about feeling support for your lover or special person, whatever category you want to call them, and just uplifting them and making sure you've got each other's backs. And I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling in a relationship.
Would you say that kind of personal touch is a bit different to a lot of the stuff that you've released in the past then?
Yeah, Paradise was more, everyone come out and party, which is great because the pandemic has kind of ended then. But this one is very like about my life, which is quite vulnerable compared to Paradise anyway.
How do you feel putting that out there now? Has it been a positive experience, or is it still a little bit feeling heart on your sleeve?
No, I feel positive about it. I think it's inspired a lot of people to let go of whatever they needed to let go of. Sometimes letting go is the healing,
Great, that's awesome.
Definitely.
I love it. More about the sound of this that we're about to hear, and everyone is about to hear it. But if you were to kind of describe it briefly, what would you say this song was?
I think we fall between two categories because we keep getting categorized as these two things, dance pop and deep house. So it's like a mashup of deep house with very poppy top lines.
Is this a style that you seem to be getting quite comfortable in, at least, anyway?
Yeah. We love pop singers, and we want really catchy hooks. Our songs need to be stuffed with hooks so that you can just remember them. And we want really deep house, UK, garagey, housey sound in the production.
Yeah, definitely.
Beyond you and Bellussi, obviously, were there any other hands in this from the forms of studios or mastering agents or anything?
Yeah, in this one, so a very good friend of mine, a guy called Josh, he's an amazing mastering engineer and mix engineer. And shout out, credit due when credit's due. He was amazing at mastering and bringing the extra spice and production tips to the track.
Yeah.
Because I've known him for the last 15 odd years, lived together at uni. And what he's very, very good at doing, so he's very good at just objectifying that track and being a fresh set of eyes and hands on the track. So he will see things that we often won't see because we're often too close to the track. And he'll bring out more ear candy. He'll often suggest to myself or Hypnotist saying, "Why don't you put this topper in here? Or it's too much here. Why don't you strip it down?" And advise us what to do.
That's awesome. It's good to have someone that can offer those kind of constructive criticisms whilst not being an asshole about it, basically.
Yeah, very. He said a few things where he was like, "Oh, I hope I don't hurt your feelings," but we don't really care if it makes the song better. Let's go,
Yeah, all for the best of the track.
Yeah.
And that's one of the good things that between myself and Hypnotist, because the way we work, there's never a bad idea. We'll try every single idea out on the table. If a singer comes to us and says, "Guys, I've got this awesome melody, can I lay it down?" Yeah, go for it, because we're not going to know till we hear it. And if there is a bad idea, we'll often call each other out on it and say, "Hey, that might not work there. Let's put it in the back burner,
and we can
try something else. Save that idea for later."
Yeah,
and it's not really pettiness about it.
Yeah, no, it's really important. It's great to see the way that you gel together as well. There's nothing worse than working with someone or being in that situation where you're like, you've done something and it might not fit, but instead of being like, let's try something else, it's just that's crap. Don't do that. It's like that's not very useful. So, and you can see how the tracks develop.
I mean, it is very rare that we'd ever say that, but
yeah,
because we seem to be quite in tune with the way each other work and what each other like and don't like.
That's excellent. Right, where am I? So what you've come through the pandemic and out the other side. Obviously, there was quite big challenges through that. What's the biggest challenge you felt recently with the tracks that you're putting out?
I think marketing is a huge one compared to major labels who have marketing teams of about 50 people and a budget of $100,000. they can, that's really the next stage we have to look at, is trying to get into that sphere of marketing and advertising.
Oh, definitely. We feel with this, especially with this release, it's kind of like almost we've had to become influencers alongside being professional musicians.
Content creators.
Content creators for TikTok, all the social medias. And we seem to spend a lot of our time now, rather than making music, which is what we both love, we're now making a lot more content, which is great. We really enjoy it. But especially even with that gap of 2 years since our last release, the fact that social media plays such an important role in what we're doing is insane. I mean, we love all our videos that we put out and the content we do to go with the music. It's almost like you have to do as much content as you do music work.
Would you say that being or trying to get your music out there these days is more a point of being a personality over just typically what it used to be by putting music onto a disc and hoping someone likes it?
I think the industry wants all artists to now be business entrepreneurs first and then artists, whereas it wasn't like that even in the 90s.
They want you to kind of be the whole package.
Yeah, it's not just that they want you. I'd say probably less on the business side as such, but you need to have your whole conglomerate of social media down. You have to be putting out the product. They can do the business side, but as long as you have product, and your product is no longer just music. It's your face. It's your personality. It's the videos that go along with that personality. But it's good to see that you as musicians have kind of embraced that and you're enjoying it as well. There's nothing worse than seeing some people. It's like, oh, we best put out a video, otherwise the single won't go well. Yeah. And you can kind of see it in their video that they're all sitting there. Here is our next single. It is
uninspiring.
Yeah. So no, it's great to see that. How's the response been to it so far over the past 9 days?
Very good. We've got almost 16,000 streams.
Holy.
Which is pretty great. For an independent release.
Yeah, it's going really, really well. Our social medias are growing really well.
Yes, we're getting a lot of attention.
We're getting a lot of attention, a lot more engagement from our fans and from our listeners. Shout out to you guys. Couldn't do it without you.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, it's been going really well, and everyone we're playing it to is saying how great it is and how much they enjoy the track.
Do you have any aspirations for it? Like, would you? A lot of musicians now are looking like, oh, I'd love to get this track on a game, or a new movie release, or specific in my favorite series on Netflix or whatever. Is there anything that you're kind of dreaming towards that would just be great? The one thing that would be like, that would be awesome if it was on the new Stranger Things or whatever. Wouldn't quite fit that, but you know what I mean.
That would do.
That would do.
But yeah, it wouldn't quite fit it. Anything on the TV would be great.
Definitely. Anything through sync, TV, film, a game, or if a major label picked it up and said, "Hey, we love what you're doing. We'll put this out for you," would be great.
Okay, cool. Are we looking to have this maybe with whatever else is upcoming taken into a live format by any chance?
Yes.
Yes.
I currently got a broken left foot, which has put things a little bit out of whack, but it's getting better slowly, and we're hoping to start gigging by June again. Definitely. Me and myself and Mike both love gigging, and we're just itching to gig again. It's been a while.
Do you get your feature artists on with you, or are you usually using samples, or is it where it can fit?
Yeah, sometimes. A lot of the times I'm singing as well. Okay. So I'm singing with the vocals, and whoever can make that show, they're more than welcome to come and join us.
Yeah, definitely. With the live performances, we're both multi-instrumentalists. Myself, I'm a guitarist, bassist, and drummer, as well as accomplished DJ like live. And Hypnotist is a talented pianist, harpsichordist, guitarist. And with regards to our live shows, what we were considering doing was taking my DJ decks, because I play an electric kit, so we can trigger a lot of our samples live off of that. With Hypnotist plays all the synth work along with the vocals.
So we're transcending the typical laptop vocalist DJ situation, and going for more of a Prodigy styled show.
Oh yeah, you're speaking my language. I love the Prodigy. They're my favorite electronic acts of all time.
Excellent.
And when our singers can join us, we'll obviously have them with us.
That's brilliant. I'm glad you said that, because as good as a decent rave is, always missing when you've just got a guy on a laptop and a microphone that comes out of the laptop, especially.
It doesn't work.
It does. It's not a good visual. It may sound great, but yes, no, I like it.
Have to put on a show. It's called a show. Yep. And as everyone who's seen our videos knows, just how crazy Hypnotist gets when he's moshing and headbanging out when we're playing the tracks.
Definitely inspired by Keith from The Prodigy.
Yeah,
excellent.
Love The Prodigy.
Before we play the single, I always like to get a glimpse into the future. So, what do we think we can expect from your upcoming album or EP? Have we got something in the works?
We do. Ooh. We have a few singles planned and a little secret announcement that we're planning to release in about June. So we can't really share it yet with the world, but you shall soon hear about it.
Well, you almost heard it here first, folks.
You almost heard it here.
Back to this tune. What was your favorite part of working on the single?
Probably recording Bellussi's vocals. We had such a fun time in the studio. We were like little kids playing around.
Yeah, it was one awesome day. Playing, like, Rimshot Studios have everything a producer could ever want, from U87s to beautiful analog mixing desks. And it was like just being a kid in the candy shop. And then you throw an amazing engineer, Josh, an amazing singer, Bellussi, in the mix. And it's just like, where do we start? What can we get out of this? And it was such an enjoyable experience from start to finish.
Did you manage to sneaky grab any little extras whilst you were there?
Oh, I tried.
Sneaky extra recordings, little extra bit of vocals to use at a later date.
Oh, we got a few extra tidbits, but we tend to do that with every singer anyway.
It's got to be done.
Yeah.
Steal them for a later date.
Definitely.
Finally, just before we play it, you mentioned a few bits and pieces, and that it was quite personal to you, Hypnotist. But from that, before we play it, are there any specific kind of themes or messages that you really want to get across with it?
I think the chorus is the best part, because the lyrics say, "I've got you and I can feel your energy closer to me." So it's really evoking that feeling of holding or being right next to your lover, like even in a hug, and just feeling we have each other, we support each other, we can do this together in this life, you know?
Awesome. Now I'm going to do the things, one of my favorite things to do, because it's completely unrehearsed. I am going to ask you both to somehow at the same time introduce this track for us.
I'll count us in, Mike.
Hold up 1 second. This is the worst time for this to have happened. Bear with me. Hold up. This is annoying technical malfunction, I'm afraid.
No worries.
It's all right.
Worst time.
So we're just going to say 3, 2, 1, the Beat Bakery got you, yeah?
See, I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. One more time. I would like you both to somehow introduce at the same time. Somehow they've completely not rehearsed this at all somehow. Whilst there was a technical glitch there. Sorry. Go for it.
3, 2,
1.
Beat
Hey,
Bakery. We can't do it. There's a time delay between me and Mike, unfortunately.
That's why I did it.
Oh, okay.
Right. You say the first half, I say the second half.
And now this is our new single, Got You.
Featuring Bellussi from the Beat Bakery.
Perfect.
That was hilarious, man.
I do it to everyone. I do it to everyone, don't worry.
This has been the most fun interview, man. Thank you so much.
It really has. Thank you so much.
I try and keep it. I personally hate radio. That's why I do this. I look at all the other radio out there, see the really rigid interviews and the same 40 track list that's played over and over again. It does my head in. So
yeah, it's boring.
You know, I did 6 months with the BBC doing track sourcing, and I was helping with the BBC introducing shows from like backstage, and it was the worst job of my life.
Oh really? You didn't enjoy it?
So bad, because They don't. Everything is statistics. My job. I thought I was going in as a music curator, so I thought I'm gonna listen to a load of music, use my opinion as what is best, deliver that to the DJ, and we'll go from there. My actual job, I had a spreadsheet in front of me. We'd get tracks sent in. I'd find the band on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I'd type in how many followers they had, how much engagement they had on their posts and whatever, and then we'd have a sort button, and the top engagers would go to the top of the list. We'd take the 10 tracks from them. We'd give them to the DJ 5 minutes with a script before they were going to go on. DJ never listened to the music before.
Oh my God.
It's terrible.
Are you serious?
That's so bad.
That's
worst
ridiculous.
Job of the... I hated it. Hated it.
And they send these emails saying, we've just listened to your track.
This
Nobody
is
listened
the
to
next
anything.
thing. So... those emails go out to everyone on the first one go out to everyone on the list, right? They've got a pixel in the email, so when you screenshot that email and put it on your social media and go, we've just been listened to by BBC, they might play our track. The BBC know exactly how many people have seen that screenshot, so they can judge their social media because they've got a pixel in it that reads it all. Yeah.
Right. So we should be putting that on our social media.
I mean, it's a good, every time you get an email off the BBC, especially if it's the graphic ones, so it's not just a typed email, it's a picture. Pop that on your social media. BBC will be picking up on your engagement, 100%.
Oh my God! Thanks for that tip, man.
Thanks for the inside knowledge. It's good.
No problems. No problems. I'm gonna have to cut this little bit. Luckily, my audio's layered, so I can just pretend I wasn't speaking. Anyway. That was the Beat Bakery featuring Bellussi. That was Got You here on XRP Radio. I'm still with them. Guys, I was listening to that track amongst all the information that I was giving you. Absolute banger for a start.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've got, you know what? A lot of this style of music gets so muddy in the bassy end, and you've just everything's just in its right place, which gave me a little bit of a shiver actually. So very, very good work, lads.
Thanks, man.
You've mentioned you've got singles coming up on the way. If everyone wants to find you, where are you most active on your socials? Where do you do most of your...
We have the largest following on Instagram, but we're on every social media platform on Earth: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, the whole lot. Every streaming platform as well. And it's all Beat Bakery UK, at Beat Bakery UK.
And you're on all available streaming platforms as of now. That track is on all streaming platforms. And also, obviously, you can request it here now on XRP for a listen if you do so fancy such. I know I'm going to be doing that. Last thing, lads, I always give people their 60 seconds. This is your chance, one at a time. Luckily, I'm not going to make you do that again. To say you have 60 seconds to say absolutely whatever you want. It can be anything from hello mom to thanking all the people along your way to what I would advise not to do, but your in-depth political agendas. What I would say is whatever you say within your 60 seconds will go on record and may harm your defense if you answer with something related relying in court. Apart from that, this is your soapbox. Mike, your 60 seconds starts now.
So I'd just like to say a massive shout out and thank you to Tiz and XRP for having us on the show today. A massive thank you to every single person who has supported us from day one as the Beat Bakery till now. All our fans, everyone who's come to a gig, everyone who's hit a like on our Instagram, followed us on Instagram. Massive thanks to Bellussi and Josh for their support with the track. Massive thank you to Hypnotist for all the work we do, and couldn't do this without you, man.
Thank you too, Mike.
And I'd like to say, everybody jump on our TikTok. We've got some brand new videos coming out this week that I'm sure are going to make you laugh.
And that's what you got. Now, the fun bit is I hand over to Hypnotist, and Mike's already said all the good stuff. So here we go. 60 seconds to Hypnotist.
Something we forgot to mention is that we're dropping remixes of Got You starting next Friday, the 14th of April, by an artist called Vens, and then the following Tuesday and Friday by an artist called DJ V-. And there are 3 different genres, so it's cool to have remixes and bring a bit of fresh life to the song as well.
Wonderful.
Definitely.
So yeah, keep an eye on all those social media. If you missed them earlier, they're scrolling along at the bottom of the screen if you're viewing. And if you're over on our radio channels or you're listening on Alexa or any of those things, tune in, blah, blah, blah. Just shoot us a message and we'll tell you anything that you need to know. Without further ado, guys, I've got the rest of my show to get on with. So in the most kindest and pleasantest of ways, I ask you to fuck off. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having us, Tiz.
Thanks for having us. It's been great fun.
See you later, guys. It's been great. Now I've got to press some buttons to get rid of you. That was Beat Bakery. It's been great to have them on. I am going to play some tunes and get ready for the bespoke section of the show. So let's have a listen to some Crosspaths, shall we?